Well, the World Test Championship final just seems to be getting more and more exciting with every session. Hello, everybody. Welcome to CricTracker's special show in the air with me, Nivedna Prabhu. I hope all of you are doing well and, of course, enjoying the fabulous competition between the men in blue and the black caps. But to continue talking about, what really went wrong for Team India, most importantly, some crucial wickets falling down there. What is going to be happening next, according to, of course, our special guests who are going to come on the show, will be telling you all of that. But before I get them on our show, I want to tell all of you, if you have any questions to ask, our special guests, you can use the hashtag #AskCricTracker, and they'd be more than happy to be answering those. So don't wait for anything and send those questions in. And let me get our first guest. We have Rakesh Deva Reddy coming back on the show, who's a cricket coach as well as a cricket analyst. Rakesh, great to have you back. And a lot of things have just gone. It's like a pack of cards that happened there. We'll get, of course, talking about it in detail. But to sum it up, what would you say was the most crucial aspect of what happened in this particular innings session?
See, I think as you asked me a question in the pre-show asking what would be the strategy of New Zealand, and my answer was there won't be any change. But they did change that. They didn't bowl outside the off stump. They made the batsmen to play the balls a lot. I think that was the strategy that really worked out well for them. I mean, the way how Jamieson set it up for Virat Kohli, bowling one out, bowling one in, bowling one fuller, and then the ball coming seamed up and quickly onto the pads. That was a very
Yeah.
good setup by Jamieson. I think even after the wicket fall of Virat Kohli, the vice captain Ajinkya Rahane looked very compact and comfortable, but I think he wouldn't have expect. I think he was trying to just keep the ball over the fielder, but he was too soft on the ball, and it just
Yeah.
went into the hands. And we saw the reaction of how Ajinkya Rahane. What was the reaction he showed? I think Rahane's wicket was crucial because Kohli got out without putting anything on the score on his name. So I think Rahane's wicket would be the thing which made a big impact, I would say. But later, even Rishabh Pant, to his contrast side, he didn't open his innings till the 20th ball. The first run he scored was on the 20th ball. So I think
Yeah.
Rahane's wicket, I would say Rahane's wicket. Many people wouldn't agree with me, but because he was the set batsman, he looked very comfortable than any other player. Yes,
That's right.
yesterday Gill and Rohit looked
Mm.
comfortable, but moreover, I would say that that wicket was the biggest thing. And the first session, I would say New Zealand clearly dominated India in the first session.
We'll of course talk further about that, in particular certain performances where we're going to get, of course, Rakesh to be talking about what really he think went wrong. Of course, he did say right now that he believes that, of course, Rahane's wicket was the crucial thing, because right after that everything was like literally like a pack of cards, which means that, of course, for the men in blue, that could seem a little dangerous now when they go back, to be playing, to see what can really happen next. But I'll get our next guest on the show, Gaurav, who's a content creator as well as reporter, who's coming back on the show and joining us to give us, of course, his opinion as to what really panned out. Gaurav, in the particular thing when we were chatting before, you did say that if the Kohli and Rahane partnership, like, of course, most other people also believe, that would have been crucial. But the minute that wicket went, what was the first thought that you had in your mind?
I think Kohli is the head of the snake. If he is gone, then India was supposed to be in problem, and expectedly it happened. The ball was swinging around. It never stopped swinging. And as I said before, if the ball is swinging, then the batsman will always be uncertain. And like we saw that one wicket fall and other followed in tandem. Kohli went and he was followed by Rahane, Rishabh Pant, and in the end of session, I think Ashwin also lost his wicket. So I think New Zealand are on the driver's seat. India haven't crossed the 200 run mark, and I think New Zealand will like to wrap up this tale as soon as possible. But India should. They have to show some resistance. Ravindra Jadeja holds the key here. He needs to play attacking shot because the pitch is that sort that you can't be defensive and think about the runs will come with time. Ravindra Jadeja is now batting with the tail. There's Ishant Sharma, there's Jasprit Bumrah, there's Mohammad Shami. These three can bat a bit, but you can't rely on them to score big runs. So I think Ravindra Jadeja should be at the crease here. He should take majority of the strike. He should take the honors of scoring runs, and he should play attacking shots like he's always done.
Yeah, I mean, of course, a lot of people are waiting to see him probably do that sword, kind of movement again. Are we going to see that? Well, that's, we'll have to wait and watch. But I, of course, want to come to the aspect of the bowling attack of New Zealand, Rakesh. If you even look at the fact that Kyle Jamieson has been so strong in terms of not just his wickets, but also the number of runs that he's given away, doesn't seem like a test match if you really look at it, the way he has performed. Of course, everybody was talking about one of the key players to watch out for. If you even look at the comparison of both these players, of course, even if you're talking about Neil Wagner, um, you think, of course, over there, Kyle Jamieson has 3 wickets. We're sorry about that particular error over there. But how do you view that in particular? Looking at, we'll talk about Jamieson first. What is your take on that?
So I think he's doing a tremendous job, and he is completely using the advantage of his height, because if you look at his bowling at the 80, I mean 75th, 76th overall, so the ball was nicely carrying into the keeper's hand. So his height is his biggest advantage, and the ball which he was bowling to Rishabh Pant, because of the height of Rishabh Pant, he was also struggling, and more importantly, he was just putting everything on the legs. So I think he has come up with a proper plan to tackle the Indian batsman in today's first session. I think he
Yeah.
was wonderful with his ball swinging in, swinging out, bouncing it, and pitching fuller lanes, making the batsmen to drag their legs out and play the ball and fuller balls. Everything. I think he was on spot on with his plan.
Gaurav, I want to come to you about this, which, a particular fan had asked us in the previous session and we couldn't answer it, was about the fact that, New Zealand did face England just, a few weeks ago. And they've already been, they're conditioned to probably various factors that come with it. So do you believe that that particular thing we were talking about is an upper hand for New Zealand going into this competition? There's so many other things that Team India had to still get used to when coming into a competition of this pressure. So when you look at that, the scores, right, apart from, of course, a 44 from Kohli or a 49 from Ajinkya Rahane, do you think that has made a big difference?
I think momentum is really important in any format of the game. You talk about Test, T20, or ODI matches. Momentum is really important, and definitely, I have to say that the Test series against England prior to the World Test Championship final really benefit New Zealand because they just didn't participate in that series, but they defeated the home team, England. Now, you can debate about that England might not have a very strong squad in that series, but still, they are still in the home team. They had Anderson, Root, Broad, guys like this. So I think New Zealand got a lot of practice from that. But more than practice, I would say that they gained a lot of confidence from that victory, and this is shown in the World Test Championship final. For not a moment, I saw Kane Williamson being panicked or being in tension that the partnership of Kohli and Rahane is going on. He was always there, a cool head. When there was a LBW appeal, he went to the players, asked that, can this be reviewed? He did it. So I think Kane Williamson, he knows that on this particular track, if one wicket is going to fall, then
Yeah.
other are going to follow. So I think that was really important. I think that victory gave New Zealand the confidence, and we can see the result in the Summit Clash.
That's right, because when you look at the scorecard, it's 211 for 7 in 89 overs, and that's probably something that we wouldn't have expected, especially after, when we had spoken earlier. We were expecting a lot more. But before we get talking, and I come to Rakesh, further about what I would like to, speak to him about a certain analysis that I would like his opinion on. I'm going to get our other guest on, Oman cricketer Sufyan, joining us on the show. He's going to give us his thoughts as well. Sufyan, welcome back. Great to have you.
Hi.
And not something that I think you expected as well. How do you sum it up?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's been a poor batting display by India with the way they ended yesterday. I think Virat Kohli and Rahane could have done better. But as I said
Right.
in the last session, that New Zealand
I think I
they
think we'll
didn't
try getting Sufyan
and
back on the show. There seems to be a technical glitch. But Rakesh, I'll come to you
India is
on
struggling.
a particular player that, of course,
Most of the strike has to make
has
sure that he
has, of course, in this particular innings, I think we did see Ravichandran Ashwin coming in, and there was a little bit of hope because after that boundary, I think everybody got their hopes up, and then very next ball he was out. But even the 22 runs that he did contribute, it has made a difference in terms of the scorecard, right?
Definitely, because see, after the proper batting players who have got out, I think it was all completely dependent on Ravindra Jadeja and Ravichandran Ashwin. Whatever the runs they put it's going to be very crucial. And in fact, for that matter, I would say whatever the runs Ravichandran Ashwin is going to put up with Jasprit Bumrah, Shami, or Ishan, these runs are going to be very crucial. But yes, Ravichandran Ashwin, I think he just wanted to dominate the bowlers the way he was batting. It looked like he just doesn't want the bowlers to settle down and take the advantage over the batsman. But he would have maybe waited because Test cricket is something you have to just wait and show your patience. I think he was just carried away to hit a couple of more boundaries, I guess. But 22 runs really matters because after Virat Kohli, Ajinkya Rahane got out, and even Rishabh Pant, everybody was expecting some high score from him. So
Yeah.
that 22 runs really makes a big difference. And right now, India is at 211 for 7. I think if India can reach something around 250 or 270, Virat Kohli
I
will
would
have
agree.
luxury of putting some extra fielders in the slip corner so that the bowlers can take that advantage. Otherwise, if India gets wrapped up with another 15, maybe 15, 20 runs, I think New Zealand will have that advantage of 15, 20 runs or maybe 30 runs.
And they also have Devon Conway on that side, and you never know what's going to happen. Gaurav, I actually want to come to you about Ishant Sharma and speak a little bit, about him. We did know he got that 50 against West Indies in 2019, and there was some sort of confidence where, we have to talk about, because it's the World Test Championship final, India's journey. The Australia series, of course, is probably everybody's favorite. That's also because of the way they came back when least expected. So, do you think, in terms of the way Team India has performed so far, with the kind of players that we might not expect might step up, considering where they are at the moment? So, even like Ishant Sharma and Ravindra Jadeja actually adding to this.
See, coming to Ishant Sharma, he has been a warhorse for Indian cricket, a veteran of 100 test matches. He has always put his hands up. He might not get a lot of credit for what he has done. Uh, Being an Indian, he has played majority of the test matches on Asian conditions, on spin-friendly Indian tracks. In those conditions, he used to bowl relentlessly, overs by overs, a spell of 10 overs, 8 overs. So I think this has been the attitude of Ishant Sharma, which is exhibited in his batting as well. Although he has got only 150 against West Indies, if I'm not wrong, it was in Antigua 2019. But apart from that, he has played more than a couple of handy knocks for Team India, and I
Yeah.
think this is the occasion where Ishant Sharma, the veteran Ishant Sharma, who is aware of the English conditions, can be handy with the bat. Although I don't think he might score a lot of runs, but he can do a good job in assisting Ravindra Jadeja. I mean, if Ravindra Jadeja has a problem that if I'll give the strike to Shant, he might get out and will wrap up. He might be not able to score a lot of runs. So I
Yeah.
think his distance will allow Ravindra Jadeja to back his natural game and play those attacking shots. So I think Ishant Sharma can be and he should be delivering with the bat.
When we're talking about delivering, with the bat, Rakesh, I want to ask you, which player do you think disappointed with the bat, where you felt like, of course, we spoke about Rahane's wicket being crucial, but in terms of disappointment, where, because it's of course like the World Test Championship final, there's so much of pressure and expectations. What is your opinion?
Yeah, obviously, every Indian fan would be disappointing with the way Rishabh Pant has got out. But for me, I think I would say Virat Kohli because being a world class player, already playing Kyle Jamieson in the IPL in the nets. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe he could have handled that ball slightly better because when I was looking at the replay, the way he got out, his bat was slightly away from the bat. That allowed the ball to swing in and hit the pads. Otherwise, if he could have been little more late, the ball could have hit the bat. I think that was something which really disappointed because being a coach, I look all those technical terms. And Virat Kohli being the world class player, number one player, having 10,000 runs in test. I mean, 10,000 plus runs. So I think that was the disappointing thing for me, because if he was there, the things would have been different, and Ajinkya Rahane could have batted in a different way. So Virat Kohli
Right.
is becoming a disappointing thing for me.
Okay, I'll come, with the same question to you, Sufyan. I just wanted to know from your opinion, according to you, who probably disappointed with the bat? I do know that, sometimes you do say that it could be a bad day, but going in a competition like WTC final, what is your take on it?
I think I wouldn't name any one batsman for this, but the batsmen who were set like Virat Kohli, Ajinkya Rahane, they should have ended up with a good partnership with a good score, because the last session also I told that they have to take responsibility and make sure that they end up with a big score, which will help the team itself. But that couldn't happen early. Virat Kohli fell very early today, and then Rahane, I think he scored 49, but he deserved, after being said, he deserved a big score. Then after that, it's never easy for the new batsman to come in and put his eye in these conditions and get a big score. They were well set, and I expected a lot from them. But I hope that India can reach 250 runs so that there is some competition in this match.
Okay, so I'm going to take that 250 as a prediction from Sufyan. So I'll come to you, Gaurav, before we wrap up. What is the prediction you're looking for? We do know what Rakesh had said, but what is your take? What is your prediction,
Uh,
rather?
I think we are going to see a lot of action in the next session. Either Ravin Jadeja is gonna score a lot of runs at a quick pace, or India is just going to lose wickets. So I think India might get trapped up by the end of this session. I think a score of 265 I'm expecting from them.
Okay, so 250 on one hand, 265 on the other. We're going to take Rakesh's prediction. What number are we looking at, Rakesh, according to you?
So I think maybe another 20, 30 runs India would add more. I don't think they'll add more than that, because the ball is new. Ishan Sharma is opening up his shoulders as a right-hand batsman. If you're opening up your shoulder and showing your right shoulder, that means you
Yeah.
can easily get trapped by the fast bowlers. Yes, he has that capability of batting, but I think some 20, 30 runs India will add. I think that will be, if they are adding more than 20, 30 runs, then Virat Kohli will be very happy man.
Right, that indeed, and of course, all fans as well will be super happy about it. We will continue talking about everything to do with the World Test Championship final. Until then, stay tuned. But I would also like to thank all our guests for coming in and joining us. And don't forget, we will see you very soon. So stay tuned to Crick Tracker, and we will see you on the other side.